What's up, guys? I'm going to share with you 5 things that I believe will help you match. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the most important thing, the thing that I believe is most important to helping you match. So make sure you stick around to the end. What's up, guys? My name is Dr. Safo Asante. I am the successful IMG, successful because I matched, and I'm here so that you guys can as well. I provide mentorship, I provide coaching, I provide interview prep to help you guys present yourselves as the best applicants so that you can match into the residency program of your choice. Let's get right into it, guys. What's the number one thing that you can do to make sure that you match into residency? You take this finger, push it down. Those of you that have watched some of my videos, you already know where I'm going with this. Push it down, look for that red button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This way all the videos that I release will be pushed to other people that need them so that they can use it to make sure that they become better applicants as well. But all jokes aside, the number one thing that you should do to make sure you increase your chances into matching to residency is use social media. The world is really small right now. What I mean by that is, sure, we are separated by thousands of miles. However, on social media, you can talk to somebody in India when you're in the US, you can talk to somebody in Ghana when you're in the US, you can talk to somebody in Pakistan when you're in Ghana. It's made the world so much smaller. So it's very easy to get in contact with people that have been in the situation that you are in right now and people that are currently in the position that you're in right now. So what do you do on social media? Don't just waste time just scrolling through and looking at TikTok videos of dances. Find people that are physicians, people that give advice on the match process. Follow them. If you have any questions, ask them. If they answer, perfect. If they don't answer and they're too busy, that's fine, right? You don't blame them for that. It's not their prerogative to answer your questions. It's a favor. Right? If they do you a favor, make sure you're appreciative. The second thing that you do, join forums. There are tons of forums out there. There are some forums on Facebook. I also have a forum that I created not too long ago. Make sure you join that as well. I'm going to put the link down below, or the link should be floating up here as well. Make sure that you sign up for all these forums. Now, the reason why you're signing up for these forums is to ask questions. Don't just be a silent person on the forums. You look at the number of members on the forums. You look at the number of people that are posting. It's very different, right? When I signed up, I didn't use Facebook forums. I used, there was a forum on just by itself, standalone forums. There were 2. I think there's USMLEforums.com or something like that. And there was also another one, USMLE/forums.com. I don't know if those are still active, but I used those and those were very helpful for me, and I got my friends to also sign on to those forums to use them. What I would do is I was proactive. I would ask questions, answers to the things that I wanted. In addition to that, I would also manage threads, specific threads, and this way I would find out when programs have started sending out interviews, what the applicants that got interviews in those programs, what their stats were, right? And then we would keep each other abreast, and I was managing that thing. So be proactive. It's your job to get yourself in. It's a lot of work getting into residency, especially if your scores are not that great and if you have some red flags. For some of you, you might not have any red flags. It might be easier for you so you don't have to do all of this stuff. But for those of you that have been working hard to get in, you really have to bust yourself to make sure that you get everything done. Don't be lazy. So ask your questions, be proactive, and use social media. Number two is get great scores. Some of you probably watched the video that I released 2 videos ago, I think, or 1 video ago. The link is up here. Make sure you if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. In that video, I talk about the 5 things that IMGs make mistakes on when it comes to the match. And one of the things I talked about was they think that they need to get high scores in order to match. No, you don't need to get high scores in order to match. My scores were not that high, right? There are a lot of people that match without really high scores. However, and that's a big however, that statement is true, but however, if you have great scores, it shows that you are very good at studying, and it makes things easier for you compared to the other people without great scores. In order to make life easier for you, the most important thing that you can do for yourself when it comes to applying to residency is making sure that you have the best scores that you can. Preferably scores above 230, 240, 250, 260. You get those kinds of scores, it makes things a little bit easier. Now, for those of you applying for the 2023 match, unfortunately, step 1 is no longer scored numerically. Now, I say unfortunately because for some people, they were able to use that to differentiate themselves from other people. But now it's pass-fail. So you can't really use that to differentiate for yourself from other people, especially if you're going for one of those highly sought after specialties. But that's neither here nor there. I think I released a video on my thoughts about the about step 1 becoming pass-fail last year. I'll put the link up here so you can check it out if you want to, but I won't go further into that. Okay, so the second thing is get great scores. Makes life so much easier for you. What's the third thing? The third thing is have somebody review your application, your personal statement, your ERAS application. Come on, guys. I know all of us are physicians or almost finished with medical school and about to become physicians. So it means that we're all smart, at least in the top percentile when it comes to a level of intelligence. However, guys, the intelligence that's needed to write a good personal statement, to have a great application, to apply for a residency program is completely different from the kind of intelligence that you need to do well in step 1, step 2, and step 3. So don't just wing it. I've seen some horrible ERAS applications. Let somebody review it. Why should there be a spelling mistake in your personal statement? Why should there be grammatical errors, like glaring grammatical errors in your personal statement? It's terrible. When they're trying to weed people out, they will weed you out based on something stupid. Make sure you get your stuff reviewed. Have somebody that knows what they're doing review it. Some of you might have friends, some of you might have family members that are good at this stuff. I got lucky, I had friends that could help me, and I also had a family member that is really good with English that was also able to help me as well. If you don't have that, there are other places where you can get help. You can go to the forums, use social media, number 1, remember. You can go to the forums, you can also go to the people that you follow and ask them questions. Like I said, it's a favor when somebody helps you, so do not act all high and mighty when you ask somebody for something and they don't help you, right? People are busy, people have their own lives, but ask questions, somebody might help you. What's number 4? Number 4 is persistence. Some of you have to apply more than once in order to make it into residency. Not everybody does, but some of you do. Now, if you apply once, you apply twice, and you give up, how do you know if the third time you wouldn't have made it? Those of you that know my story, you know that I applied 3 times to make it into residency. If I gave up after the first chance, if I gave up after the second chance, I would not be here today making videos to help you guys beat the same system that I ended up beating my third time. If I hadn't persisted, I would not be working, helping people in the neighborhood that I help people. If I had not persisted, patients will not come in and be proud to see me in there because I make them proud. Persistence is key. You have to believe in yourself. How do you persist? Sometimes with all the rejections that you get, sometimes when you get poor scores and people tell you, oh, your scores are so low, you're not going to match, what do? Goes back to number 1. Use social media. Get on the forums. You have like-minded individuals, people that went through the same thing that you did. People that match, they post their stories. They tell you that, hey, I matched with a 209. I matched with a 198. I matched with this. This is what I did. Make sure to use social media. Number one, you guys do not know how much gold you have sitting at your fingertips. Use it. Number 5, and this I think is the most important thing. Number 5 is you have to hold yourself accountable for everything that happens. Don't blame somebody else. It's not the program's fault that you didn't match. It's not USMLE's fault that you didn't match. It's not the person who got good grades' fault that you didn't match. It's your fault. Hear me out. Sure, you might have done everything right, but you might not have matched. Sure, you didn't do anything wrong. But if you decide to say that you didn't do anything wrong and you blame the process, what's going to happen? You're going to give up. And if you give up, you can't achieve your goal and you can't become a physician practicing in the US. What do you do instead? Even if you know you didn't do anything wrong, think to the things that you can do better. So you hold yourself accountable to not only the things that you did wrong, but also to the things that you could do better. Once you hold yourself accountable, you can actually sit down and make sure that you fix those things. And you do have to fix those things so that you can become a better applicant, so that you can end up matching. You're competing against other people. And trust me, when I was interviewing people on my residency program, most of the people, the applications were great, but they were terrible in person. They didn't try, they didn't work as hard as I did. So I could see all these mistakes that they were making, but they were still going to match fine because the competition is there, but most of the people are like that. So if you work on yourself and you make yourself a better applicant, you stand out. You give yourself a better chance. How do you work on yourself? It goes back to number 1. Use social media. Go on the forums. Speak to the individuals that you're following if they have the time to help you. If you're having a hard time matching into residency, if you tried everything, you worked with social media, you persisted, you're fixing things, and you're still not making it into residency, contact me so I can help you. I guide people one-on-one, mentor you so that you get personalized attention. It's not just, people assume that everybody is the same when it comes to coaching. No, that's not the case. I wasn't able to match the first time, the second time, so I had to figure out a way that increased my chances of matching. And these are the methods that I use to help other people also match into residency. If you're ready to work, you come to me. I'll guide you so that you can get into residency. For those of you that have watched the video to the end, this is a gift for you. 5 of you. I'll give you 2 weeks to submit the personal statement to me. The deadline will be, today is I'm shooting the video on the 11th. It's going to be released on the 12th. So 14 days from the 12th will be the 26th. So the 26th of May is the deadline. If you don't submit your personal statement by then, I'm not going to review it. I'll review it for free, one time, provide some comments. And that's for the first 5 people that send me an email. All right, guys. It's always a pleasure to make a video for you guys, and I hope that you guys are grinding so that you can match into residency. I want to see those happy faces. I love to see those posts that I matched. Keep pushing. Dr. Safwa Asante out.